they're done, they're out. I hate these things so much. This is so bad, but I could never get into them. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. In today's video, as you can tell from the title, I wanted to go over fashion trends that are no longer in style in 2021. Now, I really don't think that in the world we're living in today, being in style and on trend is like the most important thing that you need to worry about. However, if you're like me and you like keeping up with at least some trends, it doesn't even have to be all of them, then I've come up with a list of different fashion trends that we saw in past years and especially in 2020 that I really don't think are carrying over into this year. So without further ado, let's get started. I've got my little notesies here and we're starting off with skinny sunglasses. So this is one I'm already gonna shoot myself in the foot because I have these. Like what was I thinking? Does this scream like classic, elegant, and timeless? I don't think so. So these are ones that we're definitely going to just be getting rid of, and the Kardashians obviously like have promoted this trend so much. Mine were very cheap and cheerful. I'm sure that theirs weren't, but I don't look like a Kardashian and I don't particularly want to. So I think that this trend just needs to be moved on from in 2021. Next is anything and everything PVC. This one I actually also bought into a few years ago. I have a pair of PVC heels. They're pointed toe. I actually think that they're really, really cute. They seem to go with just about everything, but the thing is that it came out in different ways that just were like super unflattering in my opinion. So the heels I thought were cute, but we've also seen them in sandals. I don't know how comfortable those are. I don't own a pair, but I also wanted to talk about the handbags, because if anyone's going to tell me that the PVC Chanel handbag is going to be something that's going to continue, I'm just going to disagree with you, because if anyone's seen it on Tamara's channel, if you haven't, even check out her Instagram. I'm sure she's got some photos of it and I'll insert some here. And even though I think like, yeah, it looks like you were effortlessly sat on a beach in the Maldives and some sand just happened to get in your PVC Chanel purse and now it became a look, I really don't think it's a look that's going to continue. I don't think it's one that has a lot of longevity. So I think maybe if you're considering buying something that's PVC, then maybe just reconsider a little bit. Skinny jeans. I really think that they're going to be out because we've seen in the past year or so a lot of different cuts of jeans become a lot more popular, and I think that the skinny jean has basically had its day for now. I know for sure it'll come back in style later on down the road, but for now in 2021, I just think that we have so many other better options that at the end of the day are more flattering. So straight cut and boyfriend and mom jeans are all jeans that I think look so good on basically every body shape and size. And even bell bottoms. I think bell bottoms are making a comeback. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but I'm sure by the end of the year I'll have bought a pair. All of this to say, I think that if you are looking to buy some new jeans, maybe just consider a different silhouette that you may not have gone for before if skinny jeans were always your go-to. I should have put this disclaimer at the beginning of the video, but I'm not by any means saying that if you have these pieces that you're out of style, that you don't look good for whatever reason. I'm not saying that at all, because like I mentioned, I have some of these too, but I just think that moving into 2021, we can come up with some great ideas that we maybe haven't thought of before, and these are just some of the trends that I think that maybe we should put to the back burner for now and not wear as often. Also, if you happen to like this video so far, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out, especially because I'm a very new baby little channel on YouTube. It would just mean the world to me. Dad sneakers. They're done, they're out. I hate these things so much. This is so bad, but I could never get into them. I always thought that they looked terrible, especially those Balenciaga Triple S sneakers. There's a girl on Instagram that I absolutely love. I've been following her for years. I've actually referenced her in other videos. It's not that I'm trying to call her out by any means, but when she bought the pair of Triple S Balenciagas that she has, maybe she's even sold them by now, I'm not sure. But her caption to that photo was that they look like mashed potatoes. I don't think we need to be wearing anything that's reminding us of mashed potatoes, and I think that's a really good rule to live by, not just in 2020, but for as long as we live. So let's just leave it there. Also, the color blocking on these things, like it's terrible. The color blocking is awful. The colors, in my opinion, don't go together. We've seen like hunter orange, there's these awful reds and blues put together on one sneaker. It's just not really a good look. And because they're so heavy and they just really weigh down a look, that I don't think that it's something that we want to keep continuing to move forward. I know that the Nike Cortez sneakers seemed to be making a comeback, so I'm hoping that those ones will take over the dad sneaker trend, because I just think that they're much more timeless. Not even timeless, they're just more aesthetically pleasing than the dad sneaker. So maybe we should start shifting towards something that's a little bit more Cortez than Triple S. Okay, the Bottega Veneta pouch bag. It's time to move on. I thought that this handbag was the cutest thing when I first saw it, and of course I would. I first saw it on Rosie Huntington-Whiteley as soon as it was released, and she's like a style icon of icons, so I can understand why there was such a big influence to get the bag. Then it was promoted on Instagram with basically every influencer under the sun, and they were all saying the same thing. They loved it, so everybody bought it. I understand that when a bag is doing well, the brand releases it in different sizes and different colors and with different sort of details to it, because when it was first released, it was basically their main color palette of Bottega Veneta, which is very like sort of muted colors. They were beautiful, but then after it became more popular, we got the mini one, the intrecciato one, so like the woven one. And even though they all were still very like classic to the fashion house, I don't think anybody actually asked for the zebra like derriere to be on a handbag. Is that just me, or if there was some sort of consumer demand for that warranted the supply of them? But it's a little weird. It's just a little strange. If I'm gonna do zebra print, it's not gonna be in that form and fashion. So anyway, I think that we need to move on from the Bottega Veneta pouch bag. One, because it's also super expensive. So for a very, very trendy bag, this one started out at around $3,000 to $4,000. And then when they added that chain, which by the way, I thought was beautiful, the price increased to around $5,000. And these are all in Canadian prices, so it doesn't include tax. It was really more expensive than any of the prices that I'm mentioning. But that's a lot of money for a bag that's one, very, very trending, and also either loved or hated. Everybody had an opinion on it. And I think if you're going to invest that much money, you better love it, because it was a pretty penny. Next is not really fashion related per se, but lash extensions that make you look like you're going to fly away, I really think should be a thing of the past. I have seen on countless runways that the makeup is just so much more natural than what a lot of people are actually wearing on the street. If you take a look at Chanel's models, for example, on the runway, it's just an effortlessly beautiful, natural look that they always have them in, and it's beautiful and something that I think we should really take inspiration from. The 3D lash extensions that are just ridiculous. In my opinion, if you love them, then you do you. But this is just my opinion. You clicked on this video. That's it. They look the opposite of feminine and attractive, and for all the people of the opposite sex that I have talked to, none of them think that this makes a woman look more attractive. I just think that natural is the better way to go, and I'm not saying that you can't wear false lashes ever. Sometimes a little false lash strip moment is really beautiful, especially if they're done correctly. But I don't think that 3D lashes are going to be something that is super trending or needs to be continued into 2021. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Okay, it's time for full-on logo mania. Now, a monogram print is one that comes in and out of fashion trends like a wave on a beach. It happens all the time. If one year it's in, the next year it might not be, but it always comes around again. What I think is not going to be trending in 2021 is the full-on logo mania look. So we've seen this countless times with that super infamous Fendi photo, and I actually don't know what's worse. You tell me. Is it worse to have a full-on head-to-toe monogram look that's the same fashion house? Or is it worse if it's multiple fashion houses? Like I said, I'm not saying veto Monogram altogether. If you're gonna go for it and buy into that trend, maybe do like a small shoulder bag or something in Monogram, or maybe even just a little pochette for inside the handbag. It might just give you the satisfaction that you're looking for in owning some Monogram without being super, super out there and looking like you're just trying to scream Gucci or Fendi head to toe. A trend that was actually really big in 2020 that I personally loved were those Gucci tights. Everybody had them, everybody wore them, and they were only a couple $100s, which granted is a lot of money for a pair of tights, but I do think you can wear them in a lot of ways. If you're a dress or a skirt person, obviously they can be worn with those, but you could even have them like under a ripped pair of mom jeans or something, where if there's a rip at the knee, you just see like a little bit of the Monogram peeking through, and I think that's kind of cute because again, it's not really in your face. You're making the point without just screaming it from the rooftops. The next and final two are handbag related, and this one unfortunately is micro bags. These bags really aren't so practical. If you didn't see, I just bought one. I bought the Fendi Micro Peekaboo, and even though I love it and I think that I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it, I do think that the trend is starting to fall to the wayside and making room for the extra large handbag trend that's coming in full force. So I really think that we're moving away from the micro bag trend. I think mini bags are still going to be somewhat trending, just not the ones that are like so little that they're basically non-existent and can't carry anything. Yeah, I think that micro bags are done. Basically, the first bag that got the micro bag trend really rolling was the Jacquemus Le Chiquito, and I think that it's even sort of telling of what's to come next that they made that bag in a grand version, or grand, I don't know how to say it. So if you did like that silhouette, I think you can still go for it and have it be a little bit more trendy. It is gonna cost a little bit more, but you're not gonna be spending money on a bag that's so small and basically carries like a lip gloss and a bobby pin. Speaking of Bobby, last but not least is the Dior Bobby bag. I think that one was like shoved down everybody's throats on Instagram, and part of that is the reason why I think it's going to be out for 2021. How Dior has been marketing their products lately has been a lot through influencer marketing, and I completely understand that it makes financial sense for the fashion house to promote their products that way. It's relatively cheap. They basically just gift the bags to an influencer, and then all of them say the same thing. It's amazing, it's the best bag they ever have, and they love it so much. And when everyone's saying the same narrative, I think that it just gets a little bit like questionable in a way, because they're being given these bags for a positive review, and that just makes me a little bit concerned that maybe they're not all perfectly genuine. And I'm not saying that any of these women are liars. I'm just saying that the Dior Bobby bag I think is one that again is going to be a sign of the times, and I give it a couple more months and then you're not going to see it again. Not to mention, once you see it you can't unsee it, so I honestly don't want to wreck it for some of you that do love this handbag. But there's something on the front of it that's just looking a little phallic. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, but that's all I'll say. Anyway, once I saw that, I thought I just can't really get into the bag. Anyway, I think that the leather looks really beautiful on it, but it's not really a shape or a silhouette that I see myself wearing. But those are just my 2 cents. Take them with a grain of salt and just buy whatever you love, because at the end of the day, you have to feel good in what you're wearing. So I'm not trying to deter you from any of these trends. I'm just trying to give you my opinion. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. We got through all 10, I think actually pretty quickly too. Let me know down below in the comment section if you agree or disagree with any of these trends. I'm always up for a good conversation. And let me know what you're most excited for in 2021. I'll have that video coming up soon. I'll give you some of my thoughts on what I think is going to be coming up and super big and trending in 2021. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!